Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the part 2 of trigonometry. Part 2 of trigonometry. Let's revise it. So let's revise the previous session what we have done. Let's go. So we have learned that right angle triangle. This is a perpendicular base and hypotenuse. This is 90 degree. You have learned all the ratio values. You have learned all the triplets and trigonometric ratios. Okay, you have learned all these things. Let's deal with the questions. For example, that a right angle triangle has a triplet. You know all the triplet values. If you remember everything, then solve this one as faster as you can. I gave you perpendicular as 20, base as 21. Then what is this? Could you find this answer? So if you have remembered the triplet 20, 21 and 29, you could solve it faster. This is 29. Or you can apply this one formula, that is Pythagoras theorem. But this is not so faster as you can. This is not so suitable. You can deal with this way by remembering all the triplets. Recall all the triplets again and again so that you can remember it faster. More examples. I gave you a right angle triangle with 90 degree and perpendicular as 65, 72 and what is this? Could you able to find this? If you apply the slow process, that is Pythagoras theorem, h square is equal to p square plus b square. So you have to find 65 square, then you have to find 72 square, then you will be able to find hypotenuse square. So this is a slow process. Yeah, isn't it? It is a very slow process. So let's deal with the triplet. Do you remember that formula? Do you remember that formula? What was that? What was that? Do you remember the formula? Or you remember the triplet? Did you remember the triplet? What is that? Sorry. That is 65, 72 and this one is 97. So if you have remembered the triplet again and again, you will recall if again and again, so you will be able to do it faster. Without doing anything, you have remembered this. So you have studied some of the ratio values. No, let's wait a minute. Solve more example on this. If I give you a question that is 12, 16, so what is this? How could you able to be find? So let's start. Do you find anything? Is there any relation between them? Do you find any relation between them? I found that this is 3, this is 4 times 4. So this will be what? I have studied a triplet called 3, 4, 5. That how much times is this? 4 times. How much times is this? 4 times. And this will be also 4 times. Then what will be this? This will be 5 4s are 20. Would you able to find? Because they are multiple of. Okay. They are multiples. So let's start with another example. I gave you an example that is in algebraic form, a square minus b square 2ab. Then what is this? What is this? So if you don't know, then you have to apply the Pythagoras theorem. If you know, or if you have remembered this triplet, so you can write that this one is a square plus b square, direct way. This one also is a triplet. What is that? That is a square minus b square, 2ab, and a square plus b square. Second triplet is x square minus 1, 2x, and x square plus 1. Third triplet is a minus b, then you can write it as 2 root ab, then a plus b. These are also a triplet in algebraic form. They are also important. Okay, let's take more of the examples. Example that if I take 90, 9, 40, then what is this? Do you remember the triplet that 9, 40 and 41? This is a type of a triplet, basic triplet. Okay, so all over you have to recall again and again all the triplets. Recall all of them, so you can do the sums as faster as you can. Let's take a decimal example. I give a right angle triangle, 12.5, this is 32.5. Then what is this? So if I arrange it in a way to solve 25x and 32.5, would you able to find any similarities between them? Would you able to find any similarities between them? I found this. If I take the decimals out, okay, I found that this is 25 times. This is how much time? This is 13 times. 13 times, it means 5, 13, and I have studied that 5, 12 and 13. 5, 12 and 13. It means this is 25 times, then it will also be 25 times. Then it will also be 25 times. So 12 into 15. Sorry, 12 into 25. What you will get? You will get 300. But you remember that I have taken a decimal here. So if I put a decimal, then it will be 30. So the answer is 30 here. You have studied a triplet that is 5, 12 and 13. So these are all the multiple of this one. Okay, let's take more of the example. If I found that 16, 24 and x, what is this x? What is x? If I write those as 16, 24, I don't know what is x. Okay, I found that something common in them. Did you find any common in them? Yeah, I found 8 into 2. I found 8 into 3. Okay, so similarly there will be also an 8, but I don't know what is the original value. But I know that this 2 and 3, there will be another number also. So I have to find this one. So how could you find? I found that 2 square plus this is, you know that this is perpendicular, this is base, this is hypotenuse. So I have to find this one. So I am doing this perpendicular square plus base square. Okay, perpendicular square is this, base square is this. What you have found? I have found that 2 2s are 4, 3 3s are 9. Then what is this? This is 13. So what is the actual answer is? This is 8 root 13. What is this? This x is 8 root 13, because 8 here and root 13 is here. So overall what would you have find? I have found that the given sum 16, 24 and x, I found that 16, remember the way of doing this. 24 and x, I found that 8 common in every triplet. So 8 will also be here. Okay, I found 2 here, I found 3 here, I didn't found anything here. So I have to found this, because this is perpendicular, this is base and this is hypotenuse. So what should you have to do? Hypotenuse square is equal to perpendicular square plus base square. Okay, so I didn't need 8 because 8 is common in everything. So I have to found 2, 3 and what is this? So I don't know. 2 square is equal to 4, 3 square is equal to 9 and a square on this side root, then under root 13. Then what is this? This is under root 13. So 8 into under root 13, that is 8 root 13. 8 root 13. So in the same way you can do it faster. You have to find a common multiples in every of them. So let's start with the new one. We have studied an identity. What is that? First of all, we have studied that sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. We have done this as sine square theta is equal to 1 minus cos square theta, or you can write that cos square theta is equal to 1 minus में sine square theta. That's it. I have also done this as, if sine theta is taken this side, then we could write as 1 plus cos theta and 1 minus cos theta, then sine theta. Or you can able to write this as sine theta on this side is 1 minus cos theta, this side 1 plus cos theta, then here sine theta. This is also okay. If I in the same way you can do this one also like this, okay. So how could they could be like this. If I take cos theta here, then 1 minus sine will be here and 1 plus sine will be here and cos will be here. If you are unable to understand, see the part 1, then you could able to understand this one, okay. Or in the same way you can write cos theta here by taking 1 plus sine theta here, and cos theta here 1 sorry everyone. So what will be here? 1 minus sine theta, then here will be cos theta, okay. That's it. These all the formulas. So let's derive another formula using this. What is that? This is sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. If I square them, I found that sine square theta plus cos square theta the whole square plus 1 square. I square on both sides. Squaring on both sides. Okay, I got this. So a plus b the whole square. What you would have to do? I have done this at sine power 4 theta plus cos power 4 theta plus 2 sine square theta plus sine square theta cos square theta is equal to 1. So if I taken this sine power 4 plus cos power 4 theta and I take this one on this side, so I found that 1 minus 2 sine square theta into cos square theta. So the identity is this one, okay. If you are unable to understand this one, so you can write direct this way and remember it. This is a formula or this is an identity, okay. So let's start with the next one. I taken the same formula, sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. If I cube on both sides, then I found that sin square theta plus cos square theta whole cube plus 1 cube equals to 1 cube, sorry. So I found that a cube, we have studied that the formula a plus b the whole cube. Yeah, do you have studied? Okay, then write the comment here. If you have comment box in your YouTube channel, then you can comment the formula here. Okay, comment this formula. So let's start doing this. I found that sine power 6 theta plus cos power 6 theta plus 3 sin square theta into cos square theta. So what will be the answer? The answer will be 1. So if I found this sin power 6 theta plus cos power 6 theta, so 1 minus 3 sin square theta plus into cos square theta. So this is the identity. Sin power 6 theta plus cos power 6 theta is equal to 1 minus 3 sin square theta cos square theta. Here will be 3, and in previous identity you found that 2 will be there. Okay, there is no difference. So let's study another identity. We have studied the identity that is secant square theta minus tan square theta is equal to 1. Okay, what we have done? You have done that secant theta minus tan theta or secant theta plus tan theta is equal to 1. I have already explained this formula, so I don't need to explain again and again. You have to remember. There is no way, because advanced is fully dependent on formulas. Okay, you cannot remember all these more and more formulas, so you can learn the way of taking them, how will be able to take all these formulas. Okay, so if you have the mindset to remember, you have to remember this. If you don't have any mind, so you could be able to solve. By solving them, you can also take the answer. Okay, so apply your mind and try to remember all these formulas. If you don't have mind, try to learn how to solve them. By solving, you can also take these answers. Okay, so let's start. I have done a square. If I done a square on both sides, in this formula I have done square. Okay, square. So what will be the answer? Then secant square theta minus tan square theta the whole square upon 1 square equal to 1 square. What would we have found? That you have found that a square minus b square. You know the formula that secant square theta a square plus b square. So the power will be 2 into 2 4, and the power will be 2 into 2 4. Okay, so secant power 4 plus tan power 4 minus में 2 sec square theta tan square theta is equal to 1. So the answer will be secant power 4 theta plus tan power 4 theta is equal to 1 plus 2 secant square theta into tan square theta. This will be your identity. Okay, remember this. Here plus will be used. In the previous two formulas, minus will be used there. Next one. If I use the same formula, secant square theta minus tan square theta is equal to 1. If I cube on both sides, I have cube on both sides. So what would you get? You will be get secant power 6 theta minus tan power 6 theta, tan power 6 theta minus 3 secant square theta into tan square theta, tan square theta is equal to 1. So the answer will be secant power 6 theta, secant power 6 theta minus tan power 6 theta. Your answer will be 1 plus 3 secant square theta into tan square theta. So this will be your identity. Remember this. What would you have done? You have found that here will be minus and here will be plus. Remember those signs. Signs you have to remember. Let's jump to the next formula. Now what is that? Next identity you have found that cosecant square theta minus cot square theta is equal to 1. Okay, so if I square on both sides, I'd found that cosecant power 4 theta plus cot power 4 theta is equal to 1 plus 2 cosec square theta and 1 plus 2 cosecant square theta into cot square theta. If I cube this, I found that cosecant power 6 theta minus cot power 6 theta is equal to 1 minus 1 plus 3 cosecant square theta into cot square theta. So you should have to remember all these formulas. Okay, remember all those signs which has been used here. So let's start with new something. We get bored in this, so let's start with the new things. Yeah, if you have remembered the trigonometric ratio table, did you remember all that? Trigonometric table values. You found this as angle in degrees. First of all, angle in degrees. What is this? Your angle in degrees will be 0, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree. These values are so important, and these values of every of the angle will be important. If you could write it as in radian, then you would will write like this: radian 0 degree for 0, 30 degree that is pi by 6, 45 degree is pi by 4, 60 degree is pi by 3 and 90 degree is pi by 2. Sometimes they give you like this, for example, that sine 60 degree. What is sine 60 degree? Tell them answer. What is sine 60 degree? If they give you like this, sine pi upon 3. What is sine pi upon 3? So these are the same way. Both of them answer will be root 3 by 2. That's it. So let's remember the values. Here is 0 degree, here is 30 degree, here is 45 degree, here is 60 degree, here is 90 degree. If I use sine here, then first of all let's derive the value. How could you able to take this? How would you be able to take this? Let's start. If I found 0, the values between 0 and 1. What is the values between 0 and 1? The values between 0 and 1 is 0, 3 by 4, sorry 1 by 4, 1 by 4, comma, half, 3 by 4 and 1. It means you can say that 0, if you take in percent, 25%, then 50%, then 75%, then 100%. Okay, these are all the values. It is just for example, this one just for example, but you have to remember this. What is that? The thing is that is the number lies between 0 and 1 is 1 by 4, 3 by 4, sorry 1 by 2, 1 by 2, then 3 by 4. If you take root for all this, you found that 0 root 0, 1 by 4 you found that 1 by 2, for this one you found that 1 by root 2, for this one you will find that root 3 by 2, for this one you will find 1. So these are the formula of sine theta. Sine theta, sine 0 0, sine 30 degree 1 by 2, sine 45 degree 1 root 2, 1 upon root 2, and sine 60 degree is root 3 by 2, and sine 90 degree is 1. So let's write down 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree. First I have found sine theta. Sine theta, sine 0 is 0, sine 30, what is sine 30? I found sine 30 as 1 by 2, I found 1 by root 2 for this, I found root 3 by 2, sine 60 root 3 by 2, and last one is 1. If I use in the same way cos theta, cos 0 is 1, this is inverse of this. One root 3 upon 2, 1 upon root 2, and 1 upon 2 and 0. You have to write inverse of all these values. Sine values will be written from the back end to the front end, okay, for cos theta. So if I use tan theta, you have studied that tan theta is equal to cos theta upon sin theta. If I divide them, cos theta upon sin theta is equal to tan theta. 0 upon 1, 0 upon 1 is 0. If I divide these both, I found that 2 got cancelled and I found 1 upon root 3. If I divide this both, I got 1. If I divide these both, I found that 2 got cancelled. Sorry, the value used here is wrong. You erase it, erase here. What will be here? Here will be 1 by 2, because here 1 by 2, then here also will be 1 by 2. Okay, so 1 upon 1, then 1 by 2, 2 got cancelled, 2 and 2 got cancelled. You found root 3, and 0 upon 1 is not defined. You can say that infinite, not defined. Okay, so then cot theta. For cot theta, 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree. You have studied that cot is an inverse of tan theta. So write down all the values. If you written cot 0, then it will be not defined, because cot 0 is equal to tan 90. Cot 0 is equal to tan 90. Okay, tan 30 degree. Tan 30 degree. Did you remember what is tan 30 degree? Tan 30 degree, I remember that 1 by root 3. If I write as cot 30, so I found that cot theta is equal to 1 upon tan theta. So I write this as 1 upon root 3. So root 3 going to be upper side in the numerator. So I will be write as root 3. Tan 45 1. So cot 45 is also 1 because both are equal at 45 degree. If 60 degree, then 1 by root 3. 90 degree is 0. Okay. Let's start the next one. Next one is what? Next one is cot theta after sec theta. Sec theta, you will find that inverse of cos theta. Cos theta values will be inversely used here. So what would you write? If sec theta here is 1 upon cos theta. So I found 0 degree as 1. Here is 2 upon root 3. Here is root 2. Here is 2 and here is not defined. Okay. And for the last one, let's start with the cot theta. Cot theta. Cot theta is what? Sorry, cosec theta. Cosecant theta. Cosecant theta. So 0 degree is not defined. This one is 2. This one is root 2. This one is 2 upon root 3. And this one is 1. So remember all these 6 values. Okay. So you will be able to solve all the sums easily. Remember all those. Remember a condition arises here. What is that? Where the values got 0 degree. Where would you found 0 degree? I found sine 0 degree, and then I found cos 90. I find cos 90 as 0, and where? And tan 0 is 0, and cot 90 is 0, and sec 90. Sorry, no for sec. Okay, sec is not defined here. Oh, and cosec is also not defined here. Okay, so use all this. Remember this. Where 0 degree arises? Where 0 degree arises here is the 0 degree arises here as sine 0 degree, sine cos 90 degree, tan 0 and cot 90. So if I ask you where is non-defined placed here, placed in the table, where is not defined placed among the values? Where is that? Where is all that? I found that tan 90 degree not defined, cot 90 degree, so cot 0 degree not defined, sec 90 degree not defined, and cosec 0 degree is not defined. So remember both of them. So let's revise once again. If I found 0 degree, then sine 0 degree, cos 90 0 degree, tan 0 degree, cot 90 0 degree. And where you found that not defined, I found tan 90 not defined, cot 0 not defined, sec 90 not defined, cosec 0 not defined. Okay, let's jump to the next one. You have studied a rule, that is componendo and dividendo rule. What the rules tells about us is if something is given like this, if something या फिर sum given like this, I would be able to write like this as a plus b upon a minus b and c plus d upon c minus d. This is a component one dividendo rule. Let's prove how it came. Okay, how it came. If I use a by b is equal to c by d by adding both side with 1. If I add both side with 1, then I found that a plus b upon b is equal to c plus d upon d. Okay. This one is first equation. Then start with the second equation. If I minus 1 on both side, a minus b minus 1 is equal to c upon d minus 1. So what I found that a minus b upon b, I found c minus d upon d. So this one is 2. So 1 divided by 2, first equation divided by second equation, I found that a plus b upon b is equal to c plus d upon d is combinedly divided by a minus b by b, c minus d by d. So dividing both the values, I got the resultant, that is a plus b, a minus b is equal to c plus d and c minus d. Hence the resultant is proved. So you have to remember this one. If you want to learn solving this, you can use this way, or you can remember directly in this way. Okay. So although write this one, if you are writing in notebook, then write this one. The results are a by b is equal to c by d. So you found 3 results. What is that? I found that I could write also like this, c plus d upon d, or I can write like this, a minus b upon b is equal to c minus d upon d, and I write like this as a plus b upon a minus b is equal to c plus d upon c minus d. By using this one, I could write like this, I will be able to write like this, I will be able to write like this, but the condition is there will be something given in this form. A sum is given in this form, you would be able to solve like this. Okay. The formation have to given like this for any question which is given like this. So I would be able to write like this, and like this. Okay.